Also, that mower will blow a lot of that ash out of the way too, exposing those seeds. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this off and go fire up the tractor. So I wanted to show you the end result of the mowing. And man, I am driving through this burnt stuff and being hot and sweaty and it blowing up and it sticks to you. I am dirty. Let's see. See if that's my ankle right there. There's my other ankle. Today's Thursday, August the 29th, and it is, I think, 4 days after I'd burned. I burned on Sunday, the 25th. I hope I have my dates right. Anyway, I know I burned on Sunday, last Sunday, and I'm just looking at the seed that's on the ground in here. And it's like that over the entire plot. So what you see standing, there's some areas that did not burn, and that's because it had a lot of parsley growing in it. And here's a remnant of parsley right here, and all of that is parsley that's standing up. But it's the same thing. Florida parsley, Mexican clover, it's all the same. Deer really like it, but it was in my dove field, so I had to get rid of it. Now, I preserved this one row right here. It kind of got burnt a little bit here, but I preserved that. And what I'm going to do is jump on the tractor and mow a lot of this, but I'm going to leave strips of stuff for the birds to hide in. Anyway, I'm amazed still at the amount of seed that's on the ground out here. And here's another spot that I saved right here. And then up here, all of this had weeds in it that did not burn. But like I said, I'm going to hit that with the mower. Here's some of my brown top millet. It's still not quite ready. And a little bit that's browning out here. But a lot of green in it still. There's an example of the parsley right there. That green with the little white flowers on it. That's parsley right there. In my millet, and of course here's, oops, let me get back. That's an example of crabgrass growing, and I've also got some goosegrass in here too, which looks a lot like crabgrass. It's just got a thicker seed head on it. But the brown top is looking good, except for all that crabgrass growing right along the edge there. Of course, when I get ready to manage this, I'll probably spray everything. I can't have all that green weeds in there if I'm going to do anything. And here on this edge is a lot of brown top. And like I said, it's turning brown, but there's still a lot of green in it. You can see like that right there. All that's green. There's a lot of seed on the ground. So here's the sunflower, and of course I'm seeing my regular goldfinch out here. They are tearing up the sunflowers. Here's an example of one. There's seeds all around the head, and there's a few in the head, but there, look at all those holes of seeds where they've been eating them. But this right here, and I've got quite a few weeds in here, but that's all right. I've got a lot of bare ground too. And then here's another head that is just completely stripped, and there's holes on the ground all around it. But out here in this little section right here, I had a mix of crabgrass, proso millet, and brown top millet growing in this spot. And I had another spot right up there, same thing. Had a mixture of good millet in it with some weeds. And like this section right here, I've mowed all through here, knocked down. I left a couple of little sunflowers there in the middle, but mainly on the ends there's sunflowers, and I'm going to knock most of them down. Here's an example of some of the millet that's been growing out here. This is brown top right here, and it's looking good. And then this one is dub proso, full of seeds. And here's that's a proso millet and a brown top millet in here together. And this is the other center section that was full of millet and weeds that I mowed. It has a lot of, as Thomas would say, detritus. I think that's what he calls it, which is just another word for trash. There was a big head, and Sunday there was a few seeds in the middle, and now those are gone. So I'm probably just going to mow everything, and whatever little bit of seed that's left will get spread out, and we'll just have to call it good, I guess, on the sunflowers anyway. Now that head back there, we'll look at it in a minute. That's got a few little seeds left in it, but this head right here looks full. Ooh. Yeah, that one's full of seed. That one's got a few in it. That one's got just a few right in the center. So I might look up and hit one and scatter some seed. But let's see what this millet patch did. I didn't really look at it after I burned it, This one got burnt later in the day, and it was a big flash burn, I guess you'd say, hot and quick. But I see a whole lot of seed on the ground right there, right in here, and there, and all over actually. Here's some right in here, right in there. So it did good. If I didn't mention it, we're 9 days out. Our opener is September the 7th this year. There's seed all in here. It's different. I'm always used to it being Labor Day weekend, but this year it's because the Saturday opens on August the 31st. I mean, the Saturday of Labor Day weekend is August the 31st. I guess Georgia DNR decided to hold off. Man, oh, look at that pile of seed right there. That's funny how that's piled up like that. I don't know if it just fell off and that's where it landed or what. It hasn't rained, so there's nothing to push it up like that. Here's some that did not burn, just a little bit, not much. But this strip right here burned real good. The rest of that to the east over here is brown top, and we'll look at it in a second. Look at that, goodness gracious. There's just seed everywhere. Anyway, I'm hoping the birds have found this. Here's this area, which is, there's seed everywhere in here. This got mowed and the detritus burned up, so it's mainly just dirt now. That's where a strip of the thatch was laying and just made a big ash line. But there's seed all in here. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this off and go fire up the tractor. Get that. So I wanted to show you the end result of the mowing, and I walked through here and you can really see the seed on the ground. This is the uppermost dub proso patch. It's got that windrow right here. I left a little bit of cover on the ends here and in the middle, and man, I am driving through this burnt stuff and being hot and sweaty and it blowing up and it sticks to you. I am dirty. Let's see if that's my ankle right there. There's my other ankle. So anyway, yeah, I see seed everywhere. It's not as good as down there at the main proso millet, but it's still good. I mowed here and here, and I mowed the sunflowers. So I just left a few here and there standing, nothing much. Left a little bit of cover. Left 3 rows right in there. Some of those still had seed in them and were dropping, so I just thought I'd leave them. Some cover in here and several standing sunflowers. I checked several of them and there's a good bit with seed in them. The finches hadn't got all of it yet, so we'll just leave it at that. That's brown top. And then we'll get down to the proso, and you can see on that side where I left some strips in it. But most of it's mowed, and man, that side is covered in seed. That side did real good on producing a lot of seed. And then there's all kinds of little birds getting up down here in the shade. I guess they like eating in the shade. It's hot. So there's a little strip for some cover, and of course, now keep in mind I burned this, so most of the thatch was gone. It was just little twigs poking up. And there's some areas that had some weeds still in it, but so I also left these strips, so should the game warden come out here, he can see that I actually grew this, and that seed is just off of the plants. But here's an example of just some seed on the ground. I think I've shown y'all that 100 times. All finished. I see a bird walking around out there. It may be a ground dove or turtle dove or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you can see that or not. I hear one cooing in the tree to my left. He's walking around right in there somewhere. I think that's the dove field for, as I stated, 2024.